Hey everybody, this is Roger from Almost in Full Color, and to continue the holiday reminisce, I am going to talk about Super Nintendo today. My game that I actually kept through time is called Uniracers. Sorry about the lighting there. But Uniracers was a game that I enjoyed thoroughly throughout my Super Nintendo lifespan, I will call it. So let's get into the game. So Uniracers was also a two-player game from like my NES review. I don't think I ever played League. I usually just did one player, and you got to pick crazy names. I always liked the orange bike, which was Amy. And your normal 8 levels. Nintendo, Super Nintendo games love their 8 worlds, 8 sections like that. So you always race in these tracks the bronze bike. They had a bronze, silver, and gold. And you just race. This is a trick-based racing game, so you do tricks to go faster. I'm just doing a simple roll, but you can do a twist also. I don't think I have enough height to do the... I think it's like X something. But I'm a big fan of racing games. I always been. And actually, Super Nintendo was probably the start of that. I played a lot of the off-road racing games they had. And then they had their combat sport games. And this probably was the start of this. I also played a lot of sports games, since that goes hand in hand with the racing, since they're sports. I used to play the crap out of like Madden 96 and all that. Or 94, sorry, wrong system. Oh yeah. So what was interesting about this game that was unique to the time was you had tracks that went everywhere. It was all still 2D. But as you can see, I was starting to race left. You had loops. Crap. Ooh. Messed up that loop bad. There we go. Let's recover it. Alright, there we go. Double barrel roll. Get a spin in here. Alright, let's see if we can catch them after my huge mistake. So I thought this was unique for most games around this time. It was hard to find games that did a lot of this transition, I think, when it was first starting. Probably when you first start the video, you're like, wow, this is a very linear... Well, it's still 2D, so I guess it is linear. Racing game where you're going one direction. No, you're going to go everywhere in this one. Let's spin that. There we go. Oh, man. I wiped out hard there. I was trying to do that other button, that... trick. Trying to remember how to do that one. A little rusty in this game. Roll is very important, as you can see. Dang it. It's like you have to hit it once. Okay. I managed to catch up, so that was good. After my blunder at the beginning. And... oh, you get the little time graph. I remember that one. So that just shows where you're at. If I wouldn't have picked the orange bike, it would be way easier to tell the times. Because the bronze and orange back then looked very similar. So there's a high score by someone. That's a white bike. I always like that. So this is just a trick level. A lot of these extreme games you play now, you do have like this racing twist with tricks. This is probably one of the few starts of it. Mine is like them skateboarding games that used to be on the NES. That's right, I used to do Twister City a lot. Ooh. There we go. Crushed his score. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, it's like a weird... you gotta hold... oh. Alright, there we go. Oh, Z flip. That's what it was. And then the crazy twist spins. Oh, I had to beat a score 68. Okay. Always like that spin. Yeah, you didn't see the Z flip in there. Lost the camera. So it's a lot of remembering what buttons you hit when you're high in the air. 185. Oh, 68. Okay. And then we get some... did I did one of every trick. That's good. Okay. So, you got to see all the tricks. There wasn't much. So Super Nintendo, like I was mentioning, was my intro to sports games. That was when I did start playing a lot of Madden, a lot more racing. I don't think I played any. I played the hockey game. I remember that. Mutant Football League. I know that was probably more Genesis I played it on. I think it was on the Super Nintendo also. So in this generation of games, sports was very big of the standout to me. I never got into the RPGs during this time, so I did miss out on like Chrono Trigger, all the top Super Nintendo RPGs that people love today still, and they still do remakes of. In this track, actually, you're starting to see the hazards pop up now. Luckily, they color-code it, because the game does go a little fast. So if you see that red, yellow, oranges section, that's usually a hazard. And I almost got caught by the hazard. I noticed he was catching up, so I was trying to go. And you have that little hump there, which can mess you up. So this game always threw little twists in here, which was refreshing. I like how the bikes are like a weird 3D, 2D, like you saw me spinning and it didn't look bad. Okay, come on, let's see if we can beat bronze here too. Oh crap, I forgot about the twirls. So yeah, those sections twirl you around, but you can't jump on them, because if you jump on them like I did, you just get bounced back. And this is a lap race, again. So you have your point-to-point races, and then you have lap stunts. I think that's about it. Alright, let's try to get some tricks in to catch up. I'm like a couple seconds behind. That really costed me. Wow. So yeah, a lot of like games. I play a lot of dirt racing. So a lot of these styles of point-to-point races, laps, and with the Gymkhana, they brought that back. A lot of it seemed like it started from this time. I know they probably were around before then, but this was like the one game I remembered to bring all these different aspects to a racing game, and to make it fun with just doing tricks in between, and giving you a bonus for tricks. Later in the stages, there's no way you're going to win a race without doing tricks, because of that little boost. There we go. Didn't want to wreck on the boost either. That kind of messes you up. And you can't jump on hills. You may have saw my unicycle like stutter there. I was trying to jump. Trying to remember all the little nuances. Alright, that's good. I got way better. On that graph, I'm pretty sure I'm the darker orange, so the orange with the dark circle. I should have really picked a different color. So I got bronze there. Let's exit that race. And let's actually pick a different color. I always like Craig too. Racing on Looper. Alright, let's go bronze guy. And you can always go back and race silver. So that was always a nice thing too to add it. Like I beat the bronze trophy, so each of these stages had multiple times to race, even though there's only 5 races in each. You had a lot of replay value, which was awesome for a game. Similar to the story I told in the last video, this was a random game that I just picked up, and I was like, oh man, Uniracers, that sounds weird, and I like my weird titles. I can't ignore it. So I was like, man, let me try this, and this was a game I would play a lot. Oh wow, how did he pass me? I guess he took a little shortcut there. Sometimes you can jump over the boost, and it's actually beneficial, especially when it does a change of direction. You can get that change of direction quicker. I just don't have the timing right now on these tracks to do any of that. Is that... wow. That was a short one. Other standouts for the Super Nintendo with me was I had every Mario game all the time, so Mario was always the go-to game. Oh, I almost messed up again. Gotta remember the red color coding is that. Other than that, Turtles in Time was a big game for me. I don't know if y'all remember that. I was a huge Ninja Turtles fan. And that was a game that I would play non-stop. So yeah, Super Nintendo was an overall great console, especially in this generation. I was way more of a Super Nintendo fan than Genesis. I had a few games on Genesis that weren't there. Because of the differences, Super Nintendo was very family friendly, where Genesis was trying to be for the gamers at the beginning. So the biggest example is Mortal Kombat. The Genesis version actually had blood. And that was a different aspect at that time too. You, depending on the game, which is a little bit today, but whatever game you bought, depending if you bought it for the Super Nintendo or Genesis, there would have been edits in there, sometimes for the good or worse. So you actually, if you had both, luckily I was able to get both systems. You just had to pick which one you wanted to get the version for and try to do research. Again, we didn't have internet, so it was a lot of hearsay. It was like, oh, you were able to do this. I remember getting a lot of codes that way from hearsay. So this was a different time. We kind of have that today where we have exclusive locks, but generally not much is missing unless the console really can't handle it. So that was different there. But yeah, overall, Super Nintendo was the big standout for me. I enjoyed a lot more games on here. There we go, Twister City. I didn't like that stunt course. I like the bowl way better. It feels like half-pipe skateboard. That one, it relies a lot on that loop you have to hit. Flat run. I feel like this is not going to be as flat as I'm thinking. Or there's catches to it. Try it. The normal roll. The roll is the best trick you have. You can land a twist, but as I did there, you'll hit that brake. Or if you don't land it perfectly, your tires will scrape, and it'll just slow you down. The flip, once you get a hang of it, it's just you can do it constantly. That wasn't very flat. Maybe flat run just means one direction in this track, evidently. I watch them cautions. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I am wrong. Don't know what flat run means here. So scared of the different red colored things to do anything on. Yeah, like if you could have got that to... Ooh, that was bad. Really bad. But yeah, if the zigzag boost things, if you could drop short on it, you would have knocked out a lot of time. Again, it's just kind of learning the levels in order to do that. Like a lot of the racing games, especially the precision ones, where I would say this was kind of getting into precision. Just replaying these tracks to learn them was the way to go. Oh, wow. Oh, this track. I hate this track. No. I was catching up, though. Yep, you got it. Oh, loser. Yeah, this game was not very kind to you if you lost. It was just straight loser. Let's try that again and not try to do the stunts. In general, racing games, I hate compact tracks. I don't know why. Just can't go fast. Oh, he can get a little trick in. It didn't really help him much, though. Oh, he messed up. So I was never a fan of the short races, but still, this still made it fun. I didn't like this track at all, as I mentioned when we started it, and I realized what it was. Just because of that. I might have to try to do a spin. Yeah, I need to do a spin. I'm messing up the loops. There we go. If I do a spin once a race, there we go. Or once a lap a race. What am I talking about here? Thought I paused for a second. Alright. One more lap, and let's see if we can beat them. There we go. Didn't beat them by much, though. The next video, I'm going to dive into handheld games. This didn't really fit the generations of consoles too well. It was kind of mixed in. So there's that. So always like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out our description below. You can check out our Twitch channels, and stay tuned for more content. This is Roger signing out. Hope you enjoyed.